In my curiosity, I summoned one of the servants who buried her in the forest to hear from his side of the story. And he narrates his story to me saying, "My name is Kolopo. I was a palace guard. Young then, foolish, and hungry for favor. I was one of the 3 men ordered to bury Adesewa. They told us she was a witch, that she had tricked the king, that she wanted to poison the queen and take the throne. I didn't ask questions. You don't ask when orders come from the queen's brother himself. I should have asked. We tied her up outside the palace, just before dawn. She didn't fight. Just kept staring at the sky. No tears. No shouting. Like she'd already left her body. I kept telling myself she was guilty. That she had to be. Otherwise, how could I live with it? We took her into the forest, to the big Iroko. The hole had already been dug, shallow, rushed. Like we were planting something that would rot, not grow. She was still alive when we placed her in. And when we started to cover her, she whispered, "You will see me again." Just like that. Calm. Cold. And I believed her. But I still threw the dirt. Because I was afraid. Because I didn't want to lose my post. Because I thought no one would ever know. 1 year passed. The king died. The queen ruled like a widow who'd never loved. And I kept my head down. I tried to forget. But the forest never forgets. Then, during the New Yam festival, a woman walked up to the palace gate. Barefoot. Dusty. But her eyes, God help me, I knew those eyes. Adesewa. Alive. I dropped my spear. Some people screamed. Some ran. I just stood there, frozen. She looked straight at me, like she knew exactly who I was. Then she walked past. Like I was nothing. That hurt more than anything. Later, the palace buzzed with talk. Some said she'd survived by witchcraft. Others said the gods had refused her soul. But deep inside, I knew the truth. We buried an innocent girl. And the land, in its mercy or its anger, spat her back out. When she became queen, I thought I was finished. I waited for her to send guards for me. To call me out by name. To drag me to the Iroko and make me feel what she felt. But she didn't. She never mentioned me. Never punished me. Never even looked my way again. And somehow, that was worse. Years later, I left the palace. I couldn't stand walking past her throne, knowing what I'd done. I live by the edge of the village now. Quiet. Small. No one remembers I once wore palace colors. But sometimes I go to the forest. To the Iroko. And I knew. Not to ask for forgiveness. But to confess. Because maybe if I speak enough, the land will tell her. And maybe she'll know I was just a coward. Not evil. Just afraid.